Are we allowed to start?
Sure. Good luck, bud.
I'll keep.
Dom on the left with Reanimator, and on the right, Yosef with Breakfast. Cephalid Breakfast. Basic Swamp, Thoughtseize to start. Nadu, Ponder, Windswept Heath, Shuko, Brainstorm, Force of Will, Force of Will.
That's why I finally said, you know, I'm gonna take some time off and I'm gonna go last minute kind of thing.
Shuko is the combo card, of course. Nadu also pretty much a combo card. Double Force of Will and Ponder and Brainstorm unlikely to be the choice. Yeah, I think Shuko is the strong choice to take with Thoughtseize there. It's likely that both players knew what the other were on, since these players know each other well at this point. See each other a lot at the locals. Dom starting off with Basic Swamp Thoughtseize hides a little bit that we're Reanimator, I guess, but pretty sure Yosef knew what was going on. Windswept Heath gets cracked. It's probably going to be a turn 1 Ponder. Gizlo says we're coming up on a hype train while I'm watching from a train. Is this Universes Beyond? Yeah, I think the hype train has passed us for now. We'll see if it pops up again later.
And I gave him the full 75 of Dredge, and he just copied it right away. That's awesome. Yeah, pulling a quarterback off the couch, hasn't played NFL for a few years, and still has it.
Top 8 with counter run and never play vintage. Like bizarre decks are just
Kind of just gotta have it out.
Your bizarres inside the master.
All right, there's the turn 1 Ponder we also coming. Exciting. Ponder Shuffle. Cephalid Breakfast and Demir Reanimator. In my mind, top decks in the format right now. Polluted Delta gets cracked. But if you're signing up for a competitive legacy event and you're trying to find your way, what decks do I have to be prepared for when building my sideboard and stuff like that, I would say Reanimator and Breakfast you have to be prepared for. All right, Force, pitching Force on the Psychic Frog.
Then I'll sit down.
Aviator says, my brother-in-law is playing Opalescence in the main event this weekend. Why? Why are they doing that?
Go.
Sure. Ready? Find that land.
Polluted Delta.
That's fine.
Scott says you only live once. You know what? We should call him Scott the Wise. All right, Brainstorm resolving here for Yosef. Urza's Saga hits the board. That's the turn. Richard Pizza says Replenish is a good deck for pre-modern. Oh boy.
Brainstorm?
Scott says I'm ready to lose to Enchantress round 1. You know what? Shout out to the Enchantress and Opalescence and players that are going to bring brews this weekend. I hope you all go 9-0. Seriously. If you're bringing Enchantress to Eternal Weekend, I hope you go 9-0. Or I don't even know how many rounds there are. Whatever. You get the. I hope you go undefeated.
Sorry. You're good. You didn't say change fees or anything, so I was like, I should have. Yeah, go.
So there's a Psychic Frog on the board now. This one didn't get forced because it got reanimated. Misty Rainforest gets played. Yeah, Chili knows a thing or two about Enchantress. Chili one of few people to ever play Enchantress on 90s MTG. It's in the history books. Could start seeing some constructs get created by Urza's Saga soon. It has reached chapter 2. Dom is aware, Ponder. And Chili is undefeated on stream, apparently. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Chili played against Michael Mapson on stream with Enchantress and won. Isn't that incredible?
2 combat.
Yeah.
Swing at you.
No block.
Take 1.
Wrong way. I would love to get away.
Trigger the frog.
Trigger the frog.
I will draw a card. Play that. Attempt to ponder.
Ponder's
Draw. Thought sees you.
All right, another Thoughtseize getting fired off. I am curious what remains in Yosef's hand. There were some cantrips since the turn 1 Thoughtseize. Days, Memories Journey, Cephalid Illusionist, and Nadu. Interesting. Roland, thank you for the resub. 55 months for Roland. That's a long time, Roland.
Take the illusionist.
Taking the Illusionist makes some sense here. I like that choice.
Sigo.
All right, the constructs are on their way. Now, reminder, Urza Saga can find Shuko, so Cephalid Illusionist was a great choice there. But now we could potentially see Nadu get equipped with Shuko and that get up and running. We'll see if Dominic has ways to prevent that.
3.
Shuko is a sorcery speed equip ability, unlike Nomads and Core, which you can activate a whole bunch of times in response to a removal spell. Not as powerful, I guess, as the Nomads and Core. Nomads and Core could also be activated on your opponent's turn with Nadu. All right, Shuko is found.
Sure.
All right, Nadu resolves. Equipping the construct. Teferi. Daze. Now equipping Nadu. Swords to Plowshares. And Narcomoeba. All right, so draw 4 cards. This is where things get a little out of hand. Attacking with the construct equipped with Shuko. Harry Houdini, thank you for the resub. 28 months. Harry says, I think I've gathered enough info now to take down EW. You know what, Harry? I hope so.
Cards in hand. I mean,
60?
I'll fetch.
I'll respond.
Okay.
Days ago.
Sure, I won't pay for that, so I'm at 9. That fetch is still happening. That was because of what's about to happen.
Oh no.
I mean, I'm gonna fatal push the Nadu.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, you want me to pay for the days and then fire the other days?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah, I understand. So then yeah, I will fatal push.
And it's gone.
Okay, fatal push on Nadu. There's a little bit of a battle there. Psychic Frog and Nadu have been removed from the board. MH3, everybody.
Pass.
Nothing right now.
Was the trop moved to the graveyard from Days? Is that what happened? If so, that's a pretty bad error. Here's Tamio, Inquisitive Scholar, Inquisitive Student. It becomes the Scholar after you draw 3. Very flavorful.
This feels awful.
Chat, which plane is Tamio from? Does anybody know? Legacy players know everything about the lore.
I'm gonna reanimate your. Can I see your yard?
Got a Nadu, Cephalid.
I guess I have to take your Nadu. Which.
Okay, Nadu is getting reanimated on Dom's side now. If Dom can later reanimate a Nomads and Core, it could get interesting.
Oh, okay. So you've been a Nomad and Core this whole time?
Shuko is equipped to a construct created by Urza Saga.
Sure.
But like, do you have examples? Is it worth it? My favorite version of it is like the quarter collar that helps that.
That's the thing, though. You can ask Legacy players like any Magic the Gathering lore question, and they know the answer. They know it all. And that's why they're so pissed off about Universes Beyond. It's really crazy what's going on.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So, oh, you know your 15.
All right, passing the turn.
Well, last night we were just talking about
Move combat.
Trigger.
Attacking with Tamio, making a clue. Let's see what kind of clue tokens we got. Oh boy. Oh boy.
And then I will just take 0, second main. I'm gonna crack it just to draw a card.
So the clue has been sacrificed. Dom has drew an extra card. And here is a swamp cycle of Troll of Khazad-dûm.
Creature.
What plane is Troll of Khazad-dûm from?
You missed me playing Standstill.
Play my land.
201.
The glare.
Yeah. So, I mean, gotta do it. I will reanimate my troll going to 1.
All right, reanimating the Troll of Khazad-dûm. Dom at 1 life.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, Meticulous Archive surveils a Narcomoeba straight into play. Scott says Middle Earth, 3rd Age block. Okay. Okay. Knows some lore. Narcomoeba potentially could deal a lethal attack if Nadu taps here. All right, no attacks. Too risky to attack, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's take it all right.
Tamio also has flying. There's no Man's in Core, and that is the game. Yosef takes game 1.
When I took the illusionist, I needed you just not to draw the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of a
Spice.
little spice of that. That's okay. Didn't see that coming.
All right, looks like Dom has kept 7 here for game 2. Yosef has taken a mulligan. Traz, thank you for the resub 20 months. Another month of the best legacy Twitch channel. Wow, that's a big review coming in right there. Screenshot that, everybody.
Or what? Do you know which variant it would be? Dredge or
Yeah, it would be
Squeakline?
Dredge.
We're the best one.
A lot about. I don't think hollow line decks are doing as well.
Play Dredge, not Counterbind.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's debatable, Trev.
Yeah, if I was trying to play the best, I'd probably play Dredge.
What's kind of making hollow line a little bit worse right now is
Well, Vex and Bob killed it.
Yeah.
It's restricted now, so
yeah.
I think it's
All right, one card goes on the bottom for Yosef. We are ready to go. Dom starts us off. Basic Island. Ponder.
Italian grade. Dredge seems great. If you like just control on the game.
Something like that. I picked it up at, I sold a bunch of cards.
Squeakline to Delver, which is basically 0 mana interaction, grind out with like a hollow one or
I was actually
a
thinking about
I think
what to
we're going to see more Delvers than
some of my
with this event. I feel like
basic.
it's always overloaded. People are
Ponder.
All right, both players start off the game with Island, Ponder. Exciting.
This is coming back.
What about the play patterns? Have you thought about the play patterns recently, chat?
That also oh, that's right. Yeah, you have the ability. Oh, yeah, no, it's totally fine. Go ahead.
Nobody's thought about it. Passing the turn. Just dropped a flooded strand and passed the turn. Back to Yosef. Both players very much aware of what the other's up to at this point. We've probably seen some graveyard hate stuff come in on both sides. Fairy Macabre. I don't know if it's in either of these lists, but it's hot in Legacy right now because of the amount of graveyard stuff going on.
It's crazy.
It's a card that both decks watch out for these days.
If you didn't have the
Trust says, I am interested to see what Wizards of the Coast thinks of the play patterns in December. Yeah, we have a ban announcement coming in December. Here's Undercity Sewers, Surveil.
That's why I brought it in. Because there are some worse cards. Keep this in. I'm bringing in.
More cantripping.
Oh, okay. That's true. You have 4 cards? 4. I'm 18. Your turn. I had to ladder slot.
That sounds simple.
Draw.
These are what I pulled from the sideboard.
Play Wasteland. Single.
Okay, Wasteland. Probably hanging on to it for Nurse's Saga later on. Brainstorm into Bowlmaster. There it is, Orcish Bowlmaster, everybody.
I guess I deserve it. Sure.
Bowmaster's over.
Shoot you.
16.
Okay.
All right, managing to protect himself from the Bowlmaster, dealing any further damage. This Brainstorm will resolve without a Bowmaster on the table. 1/1 Orc Army, representing by a Pokemon card. I don't know what Pokemon that is. It's probably new. Darkrai. What the hell is Darkrai? Listen, if it's not one of the original 150, I don't know. Once they put Togepi in the show, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Yeah, 151. You're right.
Force pitching Brazen Power.
Force pitching Brazen Power onto Fairy Time Raveler.
When I saw you double force, I thought that the third force. And then.
I have seen on legacy tables some of the, I guess it's like a rainbow foil or new kind of foil orc armies. They look really nice.
When you target.
Sure.
Okay, force pitching Ponder to protect Teferi. Teferi will bounce the orc army, draw a card. Yeah, those Force of Wills that Yosef is using, really nice.
I'll thought seize you.
Dot Seize once again. Discard spells pretty good against Breakfast, breaking up their combo. Brainstorm, Nomads, and Core Days. It's probably going to be Nomads here.
I'll take the brainstorm.
Okay, goes for Brainstorm actually. It could mean Dom has removal in hand. Little awkward with Teferi on the table though to, if you're holding Fatal Push or whatever. But maybe Dom also has Fairy Macabre or something like that to protect against combo. Nadu's kind of scary.
Dude, I'm looking at the collector. At least you can tell by my phone. What is the other thing? Not really flex, actually.
Pass it.
Draw.
So go.
Teferi up to 3 loyalty now.
Gotta love it. Brains. Sure. 18.
Yeah, my brainstorm was. Oh no, so when I've been to borrow, I drew the land, so I was like, I'm just gonna ponder now.
IRL Falsies bug. Is that an MTGO joke?
Yep.
Teferi now at 4 loyalty. It's -3 to bounce something, so Teferi back up and running. Here's Psychic Frog. Force Pitch Daze. Psychic Frog is countered. Teferi remains. Flooded Strand gets cracked. Teferi is a bit of a problem for Dom. Hedge Maze, Surveil.
What is that?
Cavern of Souls. Sure.
Okay, that was a Cavern of Souls dumped into the graveyard.
That's the most important fucking Narcomoeba of either of our lives.
Okay, casting a Narcomoeba.
I got a clock on you now.
Ponder.
I shaved like one.
Well, I said it.
Ponder resolving now for Dom, looking for some action. Dom has not done any, has not really made any threats. All right, Reanimate. Here's something. I was just about to say, we haven't seen much of an offense from Dom in this game. Memory's Journey getting fired off in response to Reanimate to counter it.
Frogland land. Yes, and it just goes into...
Shuffle.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
The Memory's Journey Reanimator attack.
Memory's Journey does... It has important text against Reanimator, for sure. It's not just for the breakfast player to save their own butts when their combo is getting disrupted.
So, combat.
1.
Oh, I was done. Whatever.
And it's in the graveyard with a flashback cost of 1 green. Yosef currently has 2 green sources on the table, Hedge Maze and Savannah.
Sure.
Good play.
Okay.
Missed out on a damage. Go ahead.
Missed out on a damage. Shuko is now equipped to Narcomoeba.
I'll thought seize you.
Sorry.
I'll take it.
No Man's and Core into the trash.
In waiting, I'm gonna fetch. I'm just gonna fatal push the Narcomoeba.
No, not my
Because this fatal push is a sorcery speed removal and stuff to us.
All right, Fatal Push knocks out Narcomoeba, so just a Fairy Time Raveler and a lonely Shuko on the board right now. I think Yosef is hellbent. Dom with a few cards left.
Attack for 7. She's 10. Draw a card.
Draw. Brainstorm? Sure.
No. I set it up twice. You got it here.
Never asked. Never asked
Brainstorm resolving here for Dom. Looking for a way to get the offense up and running. This Teferi Time Raveler makes the reanimated trolls and stuff like that a little bit unexciting right now. We haven't seen any signs of Metamorphosis Fanatic. Pretty sure it's in there somewhere. Ferrer Macabre getting discarded now.
Journey.
Well, yeah, but like,
Yeah, there was also the Memories Journey disrupting too. Memories Journey getting hit by Ferrer Macabre though. Yusuf could flash it back in response to do something.
There's not really any creatures in here.
Force of Will. I just need the Memories Journey.
That's fine.
Okay, so Memories Journey and Force of Will exiled by Ferrer Macabre. No plans for Yosef to shuffle anything back into the deck with Memories Journey. Swamp Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm now. There's still Teferi Time Raveler on the board, who can sacrifice himself to bounce Troll, possibly. I think I just saw Metamorphosis Fanatic in the deck during shuffling.
Okay. Troll is out. I'm just on neutral life.
Yeah, neutral.
Sigo.
Something, I guess.
If you just
Okay, so there was a Swords to Plowshares, I guess, revealed by Yosef that I didn't really see, but the troll is exiled. It hit the board and then immediately got swords.
it just, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. Because if I don't do it, you can just, in response to the, targeting.
Something, I guess.
Okay, Soul Guy Lantern hits the board. Exiles Ferrer Macabre. Might as well.
The frog.
The frog is.
Okay, Psychic Frog.
Sigo.
I'll draw cards.
Okay.
Soul Guy Lantern sack to draw a card. Teferi will bounce the frog. That makes sense.
I always check my sideboard.
No Man's in Core. No Man's in Core. Okay. Equip one of them with Shuko. A lot of combo pieces floating around. Teferi Time Raveler means that Dominic can't really react to... Oh. This looks funny. Why did he get up and look like that? Don't ask me why I'm laughing. That just looked really funny to me. Anyway. All right, Teferi takes up to 2. Psychic Frog. Oh, man.
I feel like if I did, I feel like I'm so far behind.
Move to
You were
combat.
gonna slip though.
I'm gonna jump.
And if I didn't, I was just hoping to draw anything to do with them.
Swing at Teferi.
I think I had
No block
probably
4 damage.
Okay, Psychic Frog is attacking Teferi, discarding a consign to memory to pump the frog, and Teferi dies.
Good games. Those are good
I
matches.
like the spice. Now, is it a pivot for? Because I brought this in. Yeah. Was that just a little?
All right, Troll of Khazad-dûm getting hard cast, but it gets dazed. Ouch.
This was a dead bad card I brought in after. I felt like.
I mean, in that game,
Yeah, Dom was inspecting the lands to see if there was anything to hit with Wasteland. It makes sense, but it just looks so funny. All right, Nadu just has been cast. That could be a big problem. All right, well, Nadu has resolved, and now the shenanigans begin. An Urza Saga has hit the table. Another Nadu to hand. This game may be slipping away from Dom right now. Surgical Extraction, that's not too bad. Teferi. And with Nomads and Core, all of these actions can be taken again on Dom's turn. Dom has scooped it up. Fist bump. That ends the match. Breakfast wins. Good job, Yosef. GG's. All right, that was round 1. Yeah, 3 mana, draw 12. Not bad. Mr. Arch with a great question. Did they even test Psychic Frog? They didn't test it, Mr. Arch. They don't test anything anymore. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Let's set up another poll for the chat. Which match next? Your options will be Dimir Delver versus Painter. Esper Tempo versus Bant Nadu. Oh, I realized I messed up the previous poll, but it didn't matter. Breakfast, Cephalid Breakfast versus Doomsday. Or Dimir Delver versus Reanimator. 2 minutes. Get your vote in. Sinorna says, do you dare lie? Do you dare lie? They tested Frog for EDH. No, they didn't do that either, Sinorna. They don't test anything. They don't test anything. Yeah. All right, votes are coming in. People are voting. I'm going to vote on this one. What do I want? All right, I voted. By the way, folks, this is not huge news, but 90s MTG is on Blue Sky. If that interests you, just shared the link in the live chat. I'll try to remember to add it to the YouTube description. We're on Blue Sky. We're on Blue Sky. What will happen with that? We don't know. But it seems interesting. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe nobody cares. Our Discord is up on your screen. We also have a Patreon. We've had a few people sign up for our Patreon this week, and I really appreciate it. There was a question on last week's live stream about 90s MTG covering more large events and the whole thing, and I mentioned how really the bottom line is we need more people on paid membership to 90s MTG, like Patreon, like Twitch sub, like YouTube membership, like our coffee page, so on. And people signed up, and I really appreciate it. So if that interests you, definitely check out our Patreon, which you can join for free, by the way. You can join it for free. Aviator says, I care. Trav says, got to have all the socials to reach max audience. Yeah. God. I'm so not a fan of it all. All right, Mr. Arch contributed 2,200 channel points. Blue Black Delver versus Painter. Up next. Let's do it. Thank you, Mr. Arch. Every once in a while, I'll get like in a conversation with friends or whatever, and they'll be like, yeah, what you got to do is get a TikTok and then go viral. And then I'm like, oh, who has time for this? Oh. It's all so tiring. All right. Let's set this up. Diving in.
I was investing we need to start renting a warehouse.
All right, Dave Kaplan on the left with Demir Delver, and on the right we have Rockford on Painter. Round 2 of the Gamestoria 1K. Rockford has kept Kaplan going for a mulligan. I just have a lot of people I work with, people I know that are also in the content creation business in one way or another, and some people it's like, yeah, I started posting my crap on Instagram, and now this and that happened, and my life has changed, and whatever. But I find maintaining all the social platforms, it's all so exhausting. Like, before I even do anything, I'm like, oh, do I have to? Oh. One card on the bottom for Dave, a mull to 6, and we're ready to go. Pluto Delta correct. To start us off, we will see a Nethergoyf. Nethergoyf is a legacy staple for sure.
Hang on, let me guess. It's that pre-game type thing where you have like 4 of them in your hand.
Ancient Tomb for Rockford. Vexing Bauble. Vexing Bauble. Nethergoyf. MH3 has made its impact on Legacy for sure. How are we feeling about MH3's impact on Legacy specifically? I know other people play. People have stuff to say about Modern and Commander and its effect on that. But for Legacy, has MH3 been a positive or a negative? How's everybody feeling about that?
It was literally driver.
Grindstone on the table. Grindstone Painter, of course, is the combo. Pluto Delta correct.
Hey, did you win? Yeah, and that's it.
It's alright.
Studying and all that is never fun.
Traz says, I am in the minority in that I love the MH sets. I know they can do horrible things, but at the same time, it's better than finding 3 cards a year from Standard. You know what, Traz? Maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think you're in the minority. I think you're actually in the majority. We've had 3 Modern Horizon sets at this point, plus they add, like, Lord of the Rings and Assassin's Creed to Modern. There are more than enough people who like these sets that they're continuing to do it. If people really hated Modern Horizon sets and they sold badly and everybody, like, just rejected the whole thing, I think there's like this mentality like, oh, they're shoving Modern Horizons down our throats. No, they're not. It's popular. You just don't hang out with people that like it. The majority of Magic players like them. Maybe that's one of my hot takes. I don't know. Mr. Arch says Urza's Saga is one of the most mechanically interesting cards they've ever printed, and it made me forgive a lot of MH sins. Yeah, Urza's Saga is great. Urza's Saga is such a terrific card.
I'm going to go to 19. Yep.
Pay attention, though. Painter and Grindstone are on the board. Dave Kaplan could be in trouble. Vexing Bobble, protecting everything. Chili pointing it out perfectly. Quoting Magic players. I hate MH sets. I just buy the packs because I want the cards. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Kind of funny, yeah. No, that would have been sick. It's not that funny. Oh, it's not that funny.
Side Norna says the only cards that MH3 added to Legacy that I think made Legacy more interesting is the Goyfs and Consigned to Memory. I mean, I agree that those cards were awesome for Legacy. I think there's other stuff, too, that you're forgetting, Side Norna. At least in my opinion. Planner Nexus, really cool. I like sewing Spawn and the new Eldrazi. I think making Eldrazi a deck in Legacy is good. Tameo is awesome. The Felia and White Orchid Phantom, those white cards, excellent. Ajani, excellent.
I'm going to find
Okay, we're seeing an attack with Nethergoyf and Psychic Frog. If Kaplan realizes that the combo is on the board, Painter Servant plus Grindstone, gonna need to do something about it. I believe Rockford has declared no blocks at this point. Discarding a Force of Will. Force of Will kind of shut off by Vexing Bauble. And an attack comes in. Rockford drops to 10.
So everything's moved.
Yep.
K command you for 0.
Yeah,
Thank you, Joe.
That's what I wanted to play around. Like, I could have waited one more turn, but...
Okay, Painter Grindstone. Fatal Push on the Painter. Gets Power Blasted. Rockford takes game 1. Everything's blue.
Lotus, Cavern, Season Dungeoneer. Yeah. I have a turn 1 play. But that's after you...
Side Norna says, I think MH sets are popular as they are because people like winning.
Okay.
Looks like a mull to 4 is happening here for Rockford. Yep, 3 cards going on the bottom. Ouch. Not a great start to game 2. if there are decks that can win on a multi-4, Painter is one of them. Verdant Catacombs to start the game. Getting cracked by Dave. Gets an Underground Sea.
Oh, it's all from this guy.
Yeah. So you don't get the trigger.
I'm trying to get better with these.
I think that is what they intended. That is very true.
Try to waste the hedge maze.
All right. Rockford takes the first turn. Just a basic mountain pass the turn. Dave Kaplan's deck does not have Metamorphosis Fanatic and Atraxa and all that stuff. All right, I'll pause that for a moment. Thoughtseize resolving here. Simian Spirit Guide, Magus of the Moon, Goblin Engineer, and Urza's Saga. Some problematic cards in hand for sure. Thoughtseize obviously can't take Urza's Saga, or I'm sure Dave would love to take it. Goblin Engineer, Magus of the Moon, both can be problematic. Simian Spirit Guide, unlikely to be the pick. Depending on what's in Dave's hand, if Dave's hand has, for example, just for example, Basic Island and Basic Swamp, maybe the Magus of the Moon isn't a concern. That sort of thing. I think Goblin Engineer might be the pick if I'm just going to take a wild guess what Dave could go for here. Okay, it'll be the Magus of the Moon. Because fetch lands could find the basics, and Rockford's unlikely to drop Urza's Saga into Moon because Urza's Saga would die. All right, so Dave had a basic island, so that's interesting. It was just floating in hand. I know it wasn't MH3, but Goblin Engineer, another one of the Vexing Bauble. That was a good draw. Goblin Engineer, another one of the Modern Horizons cards that I think have been excellent for Legacy. All right, Goblin Engineer gets played after the Consign to Memory on Vexing Bauble. Phyrexian Dragon Engine goes into the trash.
See the engine for a second.
Phyrexian Dragon Engine, not a card that people think, if you ask people, name Legacy staples, I don't think Phyrexian Dragon Engine is one that comes to mind, but it is a Legacy staple at this point. It's a one-of in nearly all of the Painter decks. If you want to build a Painter deck, you're going to need a copy of this card, most likely. And it's a cool card from, I believe, Brothers War. Wasteland on the Saga, that's a big play right there.
Like, the problem with that hand is that it was a one-lander, so I had to do the ponder first instead of running this out.
And it triggers the cat. Like, sure, it's expensive when it's triggering the cat to get tokens, but like, sometimes you just can't attack.
Hunted game one, should have waited.
I've heard people say before, like, why is Urza's Saga a land? But if you're traveling through time, couldn't Urza's Saga time period be your destination? I don't know. Grafdigger's Cage and Nile Spellbomb. Psychic Frog on the table.
Yeah. So,
No artifacts to sack for Goblin Engineer to play with. Psychic Frog could be ready to attack. It will.
so like, I think I'm supposed to just leave.
Goblin Engineer will block.
Take out something else. Like, I have outs to the shop.
Discards a Brainstorm. Goblin Engineer will die.
I think I'm supposed to take out one more swords and put in.
I mean, the Multifor in this game had Rockford low on resources. I'm not sure chump blocking with Goblin Engineer to prevent a draw is worth it. There is, though, the Graph Digger's Cage and now Spellbomb on the table, so Goblin Engineer wasn't really going to do much anyway. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I had to think about it for a moment. Alright, another Goblin Engineer. Its ability will resolve.
The forward backhand was good enough.
Chili says, I think to call a card a staple has to be played in more than one kind of deck. Yeah, that makes sense. But I guess if you're going to expand the scope of what's considered staples a little bit, like cards you must own, I think Phyrexian Dragon Engine and Chaos Defiler also makes that list. Guess it depends on how large of a scope of cards you want to consider a staple. Yeah, it's an archetype staple, I guess I would say. Aviator putting it perfectly. Like, is Goblin Engineer a legacy staple? I would say so. It's not played in other decks. Is Delver a legacy staple? It's only played in one deck. I don't know. Stuff to think about. Null Rod, that's probably lights out here for Rockford. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, it does something if it resolves. Fetching a Polluted Delta. Hydroblast. It's countered. Rockford playing this out. Don't get me wrong, there could be plays in this game, like the next 3 draws for Rockford being like Painter, Pyroblast, and Grindstone, and Rockford wins, so it's not completely over. But we're getting close. Kaplan is in a confident position for sure. But Rockford still has a lot of life. The Psychic Frog doesn't deal that much damage. Scalding Tarn getting cracked. Another Underground Sea.
We're not gonna put a forward. Right, but very big difference. It's like, oh, it's a little bit of a secret. Right. And I had to forever play around the cards. Yeah.
Yep. Exile these.
Just 2? Yeah. 16.
Okay, Psychic Frog swings for 2. Draws Kaplan a card. And another Psychic Frog.
It's a bit.
Lotus Petal, shut off. Okay, Fatal Push takes out the Goblin Engineer on that step.
Oh, that was 3 classic.
Okay, there's Delver of Secrets.
So that's the problem with this matchup is that people actually say what's matchup and like people don't believe me. I'm like,
Make sure you take a look.
I agree. It's also not
And you have how many?
Bill asking a big question. Is Delver of Secrets back on the watch list? You know what, Bill? It should be, right? Ooh, Days on the Fury. All right. That Lotus Petal was actually shut off, so that was not a legal play. All right. Neither player noticed it, so we're moving on.
Usually there's some magic, but if we don't care about the numbers, we can do it. I read it. So I did.
Yeah, there is a null route on the table, so this Lotus Petal was used, but it wasn't allowed to be. This is a competitive REL event, but both players are in agreement at the current board state, so we're moving on. Attacking for 5, drawing 2 cards. Kaplan in a very advantaged position right now for sure. Now, Spell Bomb. Also currently shut off by Null Rod. All right, Rockford will scoop it up. We're moving on to game 3.
You need to do it 2 oracles. Consign one of them.
Looks like both players have taken a mulligan. That's what it looks like with the 2 D6s on the board, showing number 6. Let's see what happens. Rockford had a brutal mull to 4 in game 2. Hoping not to see something like that again. All right, so Rockford keeps 6, 1 card on the bottom. Monka, thank you for the resub, 55 months. Monka says, holy macaroni. Thanks, Monka. Say hello to Monka in the chat, everybody. All right, 1 card on the bottom for Kaplan as well. Both players have multi 6. Basic Mountain, Lotus Petal, Grindstone, pass the turn. Aviator, the only person in the chat that follows directions.
And then I'm gonna crack these 2 spawns and place
It would have been better if I didn't when I saw game 1.
2 a days.
Snaring Bridge. That could be difficult for Kaplan to fight through.
Show me the bullshit.
Snaring Bridge in these painter decks is so good because, you know, it prevents attacks a lot of the time, and it also, with Welder and, all right, Consign to Memory counters the Ensnaring Bridge. But what I was going to say was, with Goblin Welder, Goblin Engineer, they could just keep bringing the Ensnaring Bridge back if you destroy it. And just hold you off until they can combo. All right, Monka granting some people in the chat 3 months good fortune. The rest of you did not get that because you did not say hello to Monka in the chat like I asked you to.
This guy right
Here's Painter. Okay, Consign to Memory counters it. Goblin Engineer could be pretty good. Goblin Engineer can wait for Grindstone to be activated, hold priority, swap it in the graveyard for Painter, and win the game. So Goblin Engineer kind of allows Rockford to present the combo. for the following turn. We'd need an extra mana, though. Phyrexian Dragon Engine into the graveyard again.
Alright, like Hero is like randomly like I don't know, was finding or whatever, you know. I feel like or the other thing is like some people play Ponder, 5, Ponder. I just like Ponder.
I can feel myself. 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Pete Sheep, thank you for the sub with Prime. 9 months. Appreciate that.
I've been really liking it.
That's a new badge.
This is gonna be. I apologize. Saga.
I'm gonna get this.
Replicate.
Scott says, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten hit by Dragon Engine because I keep thinking the Unearth is red-black 3. Nope, it's double red, double red.
I know, and you do 1 or 2 barrels.
And I have Flesh Raker pings from both.
No, fuck you, Flesh Raker. I'm gonna consign that too. Fuck you.
Okay, Misty Rainforest gets cracked. Underground Sea is found. Kaplan, no doubt aware that Goblin Engineer could help Rockford go for the combo on the following turn, and that will need to be addressed. And there is a Shoot the Sheriff to kill Goblin Engineer. Wow.
Because you're getting rid of this.
You're gonna do what?
I'm just gonna make it so that the next time this people don't combat because you're gonna
Yeah, it's prevented.
I like the idea of this guy.
Spotted Nile Spellbomb, Delver on top of the deck, and a Fair Macabre. Goblin thinking about this Ponder. Rockford no longer on the verge of comboing, I guess. Okay, there's a Delver. Grindstone activated on end step. Let's see what we find. Now Spellbomb and Fair Macabre. I like that play from Rockford. Dave left some valuable stuff on top of the deck, and now they've been milled. That was tight. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That'll resolve, I guess. Nope, maybe not.
You're in the.
I'll respond to brainstorm.
Those are.
Okay, a brainstorm in response to Fable of the Mirror Breaker. The only thing about that Grindstone activation, though, is that Delver would not have flipped with Fair Macabre or now Spellbomb, so maybe now Delver will flip. We'll see. Fable resolves. Goblin Shaman created.
I'm a decently fast player. I'm working on
Fatal Push revealed. Insectile Aberration attacking. It's Rockford down to 9. Fatal Push to Goblin Shaman. Waste Ancient Tomb. That was a big turn for Kaplan.
You submitted, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker about to hit Chapter 2. We'll see if Rockford discards any cards.
But I was just playing with my buddy Matt. We drove up here, paired each other house.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Search.
Twitch chat hoping for land cycles to be completed. Discards a Fury to draw a card.
Really talking. I was like, oh, it's hard. There you go. I was like, do we completely understand what's going on?
I mean, it's fine if you play fast, like play fast. I just always feel like when I play control.
Fury pitching Fable. Trying to go after this Inside Tile Aberration, which presents a 3-turn clock.
Consign should be the trigger.
It's just like,
Okay, consign to memory on the Fury ETB trigger.
if you have like, that's 6 extra 3, that's still like a fast clock where you're just like, yep. But I wouldn't be lying if I said
Fable and the Mirror Breaker will become reflections of Kiki Jiki. Nothing for it to copy right now. It's also summoning sick. Ooh, Painter. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Naming blue. Pass the turn. This is going to be tight. Shoot the Sheriff takes out Painter, though. Both of these deck lists are posted in our Discord server. Wasteland on Great Furnace. Feels like Kaplan has had a lot of disruption in this game. Red Elemental Blast, Hydro Blast. That is the game. Oh, boy. Tight. Well played. Good games. Kaplan got it. Kaplan got it. Yeah, Kaplan had some really good disruption in that game. Yeah, those were well played games. Those games were tight. Two players that made good plays facing off, and Kaplan came out on top. The top of Kaplan's deck was very kind to him. Agreed. He needed disruption at several points in that game 3 and had it. If he didn't have it, he would have lost. But that's the way it goes. Okay. Keep things moving here. Which match next? Twitch chat, get ready to vote. Your options will be Breakfast versus Doomsday, Demure Delver versus Reanimator, Painter versus Cloudpost, excuse me, Esper Tempo versus Lands, or Painter versus Lands. 2 minutes to vote. Get your vote in. All right, Twitch chat is voting in a poll happening right now in the chat. People are voting. We'll see what the Twitch chat wants. Mr. Art says I'd vote for that Painter Cloud Post match if the Painter player had a prayer. I'm unsure what you mean. Do you mean that Painter has no chance or that Cloud Post has no chance? Is it a very one-sided matchup, Painter versus Cloud Post? And who would be favored there? I'm curious what people think. About a minute left for voting. We are watching the Gamestoria 1K that took place over the weekend. A recap. So far, we've had some really good games. Some talented players were in the room. This has been fun to watch so far. Almost out of time, less than 30 seconds. And we are out of time. Bill contributed 400 channel points. Esper Tempo versus Lands. Up next, let's do it. We are jumping forward in time a little bit here. Skipping round 3, moving over to round 4. On the left, we have Lance. That would be Jeff. And on the right, we have Esper Tempo of sorts. That would be Audrey. Should be good. This was 5 rounds of Swiss before cut to top 8. This match is a win and in of sorts. All right, here's Thoughtseize. There obviously is another round of Swiss after this, but the winner of this match could potentially draw in. Potentially. Thoughtseize resolves. The hand is revealed. Pithing Needle, Sphere of Resistance, Wasteland, Maze of Ith. Oh, another Wasteland. 2 Wastelands. Tabernacle. And Ghost Quarter is the bottom card. A little hard to see. Sphere of Resistance is taken. Makes sense. Pithing Needle not super useful here. Wasteland takes out the Underground Sea, pass the turn. No land drop for Audrey, so that Wasteland was huge.
Can't wasteland me if I don't have lands.
That is true. Audrey pointing out you can't wasteland me if I don't have lands.
That's it.
Damn it, I missed what the needle named. Ponder discarded a hand size. Urza Saga ticks up to 2. I guess we can speculate. Might have named Wasteland. Might have named Psychic Frog. Unlikely it named some... Oh, well, they might have named a fetch land too. All right, Pluto Delta. And game 1 goes to Jeff. So it didn't really end up mattering that we didn't hear what Pithing Needle named. Sorry about that, everybody. Audrey will be on the play here for game 2. Game 1 was a little bit of a non-game. Tamio passed the turn. It's a good start.
Any cards in there? 4. Target you. Yeah, sure. And pass this one. Trigger. Oh yeah, sure.
Horizon Canopy, then Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond will resolve, discarding a Maze of Ith. Maze of Ith doesn't do a whole lot against Tamio. Expiration. Okay. Great start to game 2 here for Jeff. Thespian stage, okay. Pass the turn.
Combat.
Yeah.
Trigger.
Prismatic ending on exploration. That's not too bad. To try and slow down this lands deck a bit. Prioritizing taking out exploration. I like it. Tamiyo attacks. Make a clue. With exploration and life from the loam, the lands decks really just becomes hard to interact with what they're trying to do. Unless you are playing Rest in Peace in the main or something. Especially game 1. That's a Yavamaya. Take a damage. Oh, what's this one called again?
Like a different.
Yeah. That is just a regular.
Conduit of Worlds. Text up on the screen. It's like a Crucible of Worlds, but has an extra ability.
Resolves.
It resolves. Can cast spells from your graveyard if you have not cast a spell this turn. And then you can't cast additional spells.
Especially because we were talking about
Go to 12.
Interesting card. Here's a Ponder for Audrey. Okay, Tamiyo will plus after becoming a Planeswalker, the Inquisitive Scholar. And now Jeff will take a turn. Jeff's lands in play are Horizon Canopy, Thespian Stage, Yavamaya. The non-land permanents are Mox Diamond and Conduit of Worlds. Tamiyo will be somewhat difficult for Jeff to attack. Its ultimate is a very real possibility. Maze of Ith gets played. Vexing Bauble. Force. Pitching. Consign to memory. Vexing Bauble is countered.
So against the matchups where yes out, it's really good. But against the matchups, yes.
3 cards in hand for Audrey.
Major Ponder. Surgical?
Surgical extraction on Ponder happening here. So Audrey's hand gets revealed. Force of Will, Tamiyo, Flooded Strand, and Jeff will take a look through the deck, get rid of all the rest of the Ponders. And they're gone.
I guess there are 3 spells right now.
So the untapped lands now for Jeff are Thespian Stage, Maze of Ith, and Horizon Canopy. There's some really neat alternate name, alternate art, whatever cards here in Jeff's deck. Jeff definitely has some style with the card version choices. I like it. Tamio takes up to 6.
Judge question.
Hey, Judge?
Someone in the background asking for a judge. That's not from this match. Fledgestrand getting cracked.
It is the beginning of my upkeep. Tabernacle is in play.
Okay.
Even if Tabernacle disappears, triggers are still on the stack. I still have to pay everything. Let's pay.
All right, kind of an interesting judge question in the background. If there's a Tabernacle on the table during upkeep and then the Tabernacle gets wasted or something, do you still have to pay all the Tabernacle triggers? And the answer is yes. Doesn't hurt to ask the judge questions like that. Clue gets cracked. Audrey draws a card. Audrey has Tamio, Force of Will, 2 unknown cards right now. On Jeff's side, there's Conduit of Worlds on the table.
I'll go to 10 and pay for everyone.
Draw. You're doing the thing?
I'm gonna besiege you wasteland.
Okay, that was a Dark Depths, Besiege You on Wasteland.
Well, sorry, trigger these. This one will flip. This one will go to 2. And I'll...
So the Besiege You on Wasteland forces Audrey to make a play here. And whatever of Thespian Stage or Dark Depths, which are likely going to be the targets for Wasteland, Jeff can just activate Thespian Stage in response, copy Dark Depths, and make a Marrow Ledge. So this puts Audrey in a difficult spot. What is worth hitting with Wasteland here? A little bit of twirling of the Wasteland, trying to figure it out. We don't see a way to remove Marrow Ledge in Audrey's hand, but there are 2 unknown cards. Okay, Waste Stage in response, make it a copy of Dark Depths, make a Marrow Ledge. With Conduit of Worlds on the table, the lands deck can rebuild. There's Marrow Ledge, okay. It's got the, oh, what is that? Monty Python or something? Prismatic Ending. Removes Marrow Ledge. All right, so a temporary fix to the problem. Tamio ticks up to 8. Yeah. This game is, maybe going to go to Audrey if this Tamio can ultimate. And as far as I can tell right now, it looks like it's about to. While obviously the Tamio ultimate doesn't, it doesn't say you win the game, drawing half of your deck usually means you win the game. It'll be very hard for Jeff to fight through half the deck being Audrey's hand. Just unlimited resources, really. Waste Scrubland. At least Ponder has been surgical.
Sure.
Okay. Results.
Okay, Vexing Bauble gets played. Okay.
Pass.
Undercity Sewer Surveil.
With that trigger on the stack.
Upkeep.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Did Jeff sack the Vexing Bauble? Oh, I guess not. Whatever. All right, Tamio gets milled into the graveyard. Tamio seems ready to go. The Inquisitive Scholar plays another Tamio. Minuses. And we're going to draw half the deck.
16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, so 39 cards, so 20?
Draw 20. Flip the other Inquisitive Student into an Inquisitive Scholar. Tamio now at 2 loyalty because it's a different Tamio. It can be activated. Okay, there's Psychic Frog. Plus Tamio to 4 loyalty. Well, it's going to be an uphill battle for Jeff if he's going to win this game. There's no, this is a competitive event. As I mentioned as we were getting started, there's 3 dual lands going to the finalists, $1,000 prize pool. There's no reason to scoop here necessarily. Here's Choke. That's pretty good. It resolves. Okay. So, I mean, that's a pretty good start for Jeff. If Jeff's going to win this game, that Choke was not a bad start. Obviously, though, Audrey has a bajillion cards in hand. This is interesting. Tamio pluses to 6. We could potentially see another plus of Tamio. Or another ultimate of Tamio. Maze of Ith holds off the frog.
Sir? Yeah.
Another Psychic Frog, okay. Audrey's lands are getting locked down by this Choke, though. That's a serious problem.
Was it the knowledge that lost me
Jeff can potentially make... Excuse me. Jeff can potentially make a Marit Lage, right? Plays Dark Decks from the yard. And it's possible Audrey won't be able to do anything about it. It would be incredible if Jeff won this game after a Tamio ultimate. I can't help but to want to root for Jeff right now just because he's way behind on cards. This Choke is putting in work, though. This Choke is really good right now. Double Psychic Frog, but Marit Lage and Maze of Ith on Jeff's side. And an attack could put Audrey in a vulnerable position. Vexing Bauble protects any spells that Jeff wants to play. And we're seeing here, some people are quick to scoop when something like a Tamio Ultimate happens, but the game doesn't necessarily end. All right, Prismatic Ending on Vexing Bauble is a start, and a basic Plains is not affected by Choke, obviously. Jeff will just draw a card in response. So Prismatic Ending is countered. Jeff can still make a Marit Lage, has enough mana available.
I think you do. God, chat. It's gonna fucking feel good. Oh my god.
Okay, both players in agreement that Tamio has already activated this turn. I believe that's right.
I have to exile this.
Passing the turn. Jeff will make a Marit Lage. There it is. So what happens now? Obviously, the Psychic Frogs can chump block. We'll buy Audrey some time. Maze of Ith could potentially untap Marit Lage. Okay, Marit Lage is attacking Audrey.
This will transfer.
Psychic Frog will jump and then die in combat. Thespian Stage gets replayed. Conduit targets Vexing Bauble. It will be replayed. Force pitching Tamio. So Vexing Bauble is countered. It will go back into the graveyard where it already was as the turn started. And here is Life from the Loam. Nope, I guess not. Yeah, there's only one spell per turn. All right, Jeff forgot about that for a second. Oh, a Life from the Loam was revealed. Small error. Flooded Strand gets played, minusing Tamio to get back the Prismatic Ending, hitting Merit Lich. That makes sense. Okay, Psychic Frog will be held off by Mazavith again. Flooded Strand, I mean, I'm assuming there's still blue sources in the deck, but it could find a blue source if Audrey needs one desperately. Dark Depths, Vexing Bauble gets played from the graveyard. Daze. Daze could force Jeff to not have Mazavith plus Thespian Stage Dark Depths combo available.
You know how many? 5, 10, 15, 16, 17.
17 cards in hand for Audrey, it sounds like. Is Vexing Bauble going to get countered again? Okay, just going to pay for it. Pay for Daze. And another Daze. That was a possibility. Jeff knew about. That's why he was asking how many cards in hand. Do we pay again for Daze? Looks like the answer is yes. Tapping Dark Depths for mana because of Yavimaya. That makes sense. That's the turn. The way this game is played out, you can see how important the Prismatic Ending on Exploration was early on in this game. That was this game, right? This game has been kind of long. Tamio at 3 loyalty. Tamio now at 5 loyalty. Okay, Psychic Frog gets held off by Mazavith. Pass the turn. Jeff will draw.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Right, the Karn still, I think, kills me no matter what I do.
Ah, Exploration. It's pretty good. Exploration will hit the table. That could allow Jeff some powerful plays.
Something for this in my hand. I just need another turn.
Play 2 sagas. Why would you gonna stay? I might respond to trigger.
No response.
Play the second one.
Okay, Jeff will play 2 copies of Urza Saga from hand, and then pass the turn. So Thespian Stage is available, Mazavith is available. Vexing Bauble kind of protects against the Dazes and Force of Wills and stuff like that. Jeff will pass the turn. We've seen a Tamio ultimate in this game. Technically, Audrey has the emblem. Maybe he doesn't have the emblem token. I don't know. No dedication. Should be a game rule violation, right? Where's the emblem?
Even its win is like tedious.
Twitch chat didn't even notice there's no emblem. They don't even care. Audrey trying to figure this out. The Urza Sagas are going to be a real pain in the butt over the next couple of turns, no matter what. Thespian Stage can make a Merit Lich here. Mazavith is kind of holding off the offense. Nile Spellbomb. That could be pretty good for Audrey. Okay, Thespian Stage, Merit Lich, stuff happening. Okay, Mark has it under control. Mark was on the phone with the DCI about the emblem situation. Merit Lich is back on the board. Now Spellbomb's going to pop now. Exiling Jeff's graveyard. It's gone. That'll slow things down a bit. Can this Merit Lage be answered? Obviously, Psychic Frog can chump block. Basic Forest, Ancient Tomb. 2 land drops. That is Shadow Spear.
Defiler front hand, that's amazing. That's so good.
That is the
That
one card
killed me.
I never ever watched that.
Right, it was on like your turn 3, I think, right? Yeah, that was great.
Okay, the equip to Shadow Spear is being responded to by a Swords to Plowshares. Targeting Merit Lage. And Merit Lage is gone. Jeff will gain 20 life. Up to 40. It's going to be a little bit hard to make a Merit Lage again, given that the now Spellbomb exiled Dark Depths and Thespian Stage from the yard. I'm just going to tap down 2 lands here. Will it be worth it? Nope. Thinking about it. 2 Urza Sagas with 2 chapter counters on Jeff's side. Could start the constructs. Minusing Tameo, returning Prismatic Ending. Maybe going to go after Exploration again? Or Choke. All right, going after Choke. This could unlock a lot of plays for Audrey. Yeah, you have to go back after Choke there, I think. Choke is gone. Would be quite brutal if Jeff untapped and played another Choke, though. Audrey's had lands tapped down for quite a while, but now on the following turn, it looks like Audrey will be able to untap and be completely free to use all those cards that have been stuck in hand. That Choke held off Audrey for quite a while. All right, Jeff makes a construct with Urza Saga. On this turn, both Urza Sagas will reach their 3rd chapter. There's no Thespian Stage on the table right now, so they won't be able to be copied. They're both ticking up. They're both making constructs.
If it's allowed, I will let
Also search.
And now they will both search. What will they find? We could see something like Needle on Psychic Frog or Needle on Tameo, Inquisitive Scholar. We could see just Expedition Map. Could see... All right, looking through the graveyard, seeing if Soul Guide Lantern is worth it. We could see Pip-Boy 3000. You never really know.
So he never got my two Reanimator. I was gonna do my value, do my thing.
So if I don't make top 8, but he does. He has to leave. So can I play his
How many Fallout cards are going to top 8 Eternal Weekend North America, by the way? Does anybody have a prediction on that? Okay. Pithing Needle will name Tameo Inquisitive Scholar. I like that. Yeah, Dino DNA. That could be another one. How many Doctor Who cards are going to be at Eternal Weekend, by the way? Are we going to see dinosaurs on a spaceship in the finals? Could happen. All right, enormous construct attacking here. It's an 8/8. Audrey will take it, go down to 8. Yeah, it could be Delos Cone. You really never know. You never know. Soul Guide Lantern gets activated. Audrey's graveyard is exiled. 7 artifacts now on Jeff's side of the table. I like the die to indicate that. Wasteland on Mazavith. Pithing Needle is on Tamio, so Tamio won't be able to be activated here. Mazavith dies.
Second main.
Okay, adding a whole bunch of power to the Psychic Frog, discarding a lot of cards. Currently has 5 power, 6 power. Wonder how many cards Audrey has in hand at this point. All right, Flood Train gets cracked. Was that a fail to find? I think so. If a land was found, I missed it. I think we're just trying to fill up the graveyard, though. Murktide. Okay. No counters on the Murktide. Keep in mind, Psychic Frog can exile stuff from the yard and grow Murktide. All right, 2 more cards discarded. Psychic Frog now has 8 power. Another Murktide grows the first Murktide and itself, obviously. So 2 6/6 Murktide, an 8 power Psychic Frog, and pass the turn. That was a pretty big turn. 3 constructs on Jeff's side. Plays Maze of Ith on the graveyard. Conduit of Worlds still on the table. Along with an expiration. Plays Urza Saga from the graveyard. This has been some game. This game has been crazy. Somewhat risky attacks with these constructs. Is Shadow Spear still around? I believe so. I believe the permanents top center are Pithing Needle, Expiration, Shadow Spear, Conduit of Worlds, and Vexing Bauble. We're doing a count for artifacts. The number is 8.
I haven't played anything else.
I think so.
I may have missed a piece up here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it looks like there are 8 artifacts. Conduit, Vexing Bauble, Shadow Spear, Pithing Needle, 3 constructs, and a Mox Diamond. Conduit of Worlds will target Soul Guy Lantern. We'll cast. Roll that number to 9. Equipping Shadow Spear to a construct. So 1 10/10 lifelink trample construct. Big attack coming in.
It's weird because I just played this.
Rating 10.
Okay, swords on the construct equipped with Shadow Spear. That could have been played in response to the equip, but it's okay. Kind of having the graveyard lean up against the leg of the camera here. So 1 construct gone. They're both 8/8s. They're going to be blocked by a Murktide and a Psychic Frog. The Murktide could potentially grow if Psychic Frog discards some cards and then exiles instants and sorceries from the graveyard. It's going to get 2 more counters after a Force of Negation and a Source of Plowshares exiled from the graveyard. So there are 8/8 Murktides now. Psychic Frog is a 10/11. Okay, Maze of Ith untaps one of the constructs. One of the constructs will die in combat. Murktide will also die. Jeff will pass. Jeff at 50 life. Mazevith is tapped down right now. It was used to save a construct in combat. Audrey's at 6 life. Big attack.
This is what I want to do for the...
Got to go.
I believe Audrey said there's either 11 or 12 cards left in the library. So we're not completely there for decking yet, but we're getting close. Jeff's library is still tall.
Wait, she might kill this game? I'm sorry.
Okay. Jeff has 7 artifacts in play.
Oh, this is not flying.
No, it's not. 18, so you're at 28. True for this?
So 38. How much? 12? Or
You're at 50. It's scheduled for 32.
Okay, so Jeff drops down to 32 after this attack from a Psychic Frog and 8/8 Murktide. Psychic Frog has 10 power. That was 18 damage. Jeff just absorbed it like nothing. Barrowglyph. Okay, that could be a problem. And a Wasteland. Very small Barrowglyph, just 1 power right now. The only card in any graveyard is Murktide. There's a Saga gonna get Wastelanded with the Chapter 2 ability on the stack. Barrowglyph will grow to 3. Jeff will float a mana.
Grind? Yeah, you got it. There's no Emrakul? No, there's no Emrakul. And also, I was like, okay, I could...
There's a Saga will get played from the graveyard with Conduit of Worlds.
Kill the card. That was the one thing I didn't
the
think
fury
about.
of this.
Nice. Oh my god, I played it so bad.
I was thinking like, I got rid of the grind. I'm like, yeah, that's bad. I'm like, I'm not gonna be.
Okay, Shadow Spear will equip itself to the construct.
Dump the grinds down, but also you needed all the mana. Or maybe. Well, I got rid of the mountain too, because I was like, I was gonna play. I was going to play the. Fate
Somehow.
Yeah.
If I
Only 2 cards left in Audrey's hand. Somehow, he says. Somehow is right. This game has been crazy. So well played by both players. All right, so attacking with the construct. It is an 8/8 trample lifelinker, I believe. Barrowglyph does have Death Touch and lifelink. And offering to trade.
drew into Fury, so 5, and the trample for 9. So I did 4.
And if I had just
10? No,
what I was originally, if Karn didn't come down, I was going to tutor for the Soul Guide.
Okay, lifelink is accounted for. Audrey ends up at 2. Jeff ends up at 40. Oh boy. Jeff holding a Tabernacle that's not useful at all right now.
We'll stabilize with that. Yeah. Because really, Emrakul, the only matchup it matters is this matchup.
Life from the Loam. There's nothing in the graveyard, so it just goes in there. No targets. Goes to the graveyard. Tabernacle triggers. The creatures will be paid for.
Exactly like Fury Record.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have.
But I think I could have played around that. Like I could have.
Okay, Maze on the Psychic Frog. Take 8 damage from the Murktide. 8/8 Murktide. Feels like most of those cards Audrey drew earlier in this game were just discarded to Psychic Frog in the end. It's got 9 counters on it. Dredging Loam. Milling an Expedition map. Maybe a Dark Depths. Maybe a Wasteland? I couldn't quite see. Urza Saga ticks up to 2. Life from the Loam. Return all 3. Well, not the map, obviously, but return the other 2.
Yeah, I forgot you had exactly 3 points.
Please, Wasteland. That is Wasteland, right? I'm pretty sure that's Wasteland.
I was just like, oh yeah, right, I'm still dead. No, oh yeah, I played
Yeah, Meals confirms it is. Dark Depths comes in.
Oh, yes.
Passes back to Audrey. Dark Depths on the board. No Thespian stage. Loam in the graveyard. Urza Saga on 2. Attacking with Psychic Frog and Murktide. Maze of Ith will be used on the Psychic Frog again. That makes sense. 8 damage gets through. Jeff drops to 24. Urza Saga makes a construct. And Jeff will take the turn. Tabernacle will pay for the construct. Loam will dredge. Saga, Bajuka Bog, and couldn't make out that last card, unfortunately. Maybe. All right, making another construct, it looks like, before Urza Saga pops.
The one in the red one.
It's both Expiration and Conduit of Worlds on the table. Urza Saga will be played. Did Jeff not search? I guess we skipped it. I guess.
Besides like Chalice, but now that I'm playing Karn too, you can just up to Karn to kill Chalice.
Okay, Shadow Spear will equip to the older construct. It's going to get swords in response.
Karn on a non-artifact, and just load up with this, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Totally right, pointing out that Jeff's out of playmat. Yeah. Maxed out on permanence on the board.
Yeah, that's a fun trick.
Urza Saga gets played. Conduit of Worlds will cast Choke from the graveyard. Just got milled with the Dredge. That was the card that I didn't see. That would have been a pretty big play, but Force of Negation counters the Choke. It's exiled. That was a really good Force of Negation.
Are you playing any Welders?
3.
Oh, okay.
I did trim 1 because Bowmaster is kind of coming back, and it's also like
This card is
it's
here.
one of those cards that doesn't do anything by itself.
Exile this
Right,
for
you
you.
know,
Like it's
put something to his graveyard.
it's like it's great.
Growing the Murktide using Psychic Frog's ability. It will gain 3 more counters, so it will be a 11-11.
I'll take 11.
I think like turn 1, I have like 99% of the time want to play it.
Down to 21 is Jeff. Wow.
Pay turn plus like hold up Pyroclasm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Right.
Using the Tabernacle to pay for Tabernacle. 1 construct remains. Taking a regular draw. Yeah, it looks like Audrey did not pay for Tabernacle, unfortunately, but both players missed it. I kind of don't even blame them. This board is crazy. Looks like playing Bajuka Bog from the graveyard, exiling the graveyard. Equipping Shadow Spear to the construct.
Awesome. I've been missing triggers for the Tabernacle.
What's it called?
Okay, the Tabernacle played late. Jeff doesn't seem to care. This is Comp Ariel. This stuff does matter. Be careful. Attacking with the construct, blocking with Psychic Frog. How big is this construct? 8-8 right now?
You guys what?
11-12.
11-12 Psychic Frog.
Big boy.
Alright, so he's
There are 2 Urza Sagas on the board with 2 counters on each. Vinny the Goat shows up. What's up? What's up, Vinny? Expedition map can be played from the graveyard with Conduit of Worlds.
Played one. I only played second one years.
I have no idea.
This is my first time.
Probably. Let's say no. Sure. Possible land.
Okay, expedition map will sack. We have found and played Thespian Stage. Oh boy. Audrey's at 2 life.
And like, spend the currency. They give you so much.
I'm so drained.
Jeff and Audrey joking right now. They're so drained by this game. Tabernacle triggers have to be paid. Jeff is allowing it. It's not super relevant, but you do have to remember that trigger.
You're like, I wanted this. Because I'm sort of looped.
I don't know if I can kill you fast enough. I don't have prismatic endings.
Audrey just scooped it up. Jeff gets the match. An incredible game 2. So well played. There was so much to keep track of. That was incredible. Great match. GG's. Jeff gets it. Beat the Tameo Ultimate. It can be done. It can be done. And Jeff is the one to do it. That was enjoyable. GG's. Okay. Wow. Feel like I need to reset. Yeah, that was a great game. That was a great game. All right, we're going to set up another poll for the Twitch chat to decide which match we will watch next on today's so far exciting and interesting live stream. Your options will be your options will be Esper Vile versus Doomsday, Demir Delver versus Esper Vile, Lance versus Demir Delver, shoot, lost my place. Painter versus Lands. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure I'm not skipping something I didn't want to skip. Two minutes to vote. Get your vote in. Which match next? It is up to the Twitch chat to vote. Up on your screen is our Discord server. That's where our community hangs out. Deck lists from this event are posted in the Discord server's Decklist channel. Want to point out a new thing we've set up on our Discord server. Whoops, I scrolled. In the forum channel, there are now posts for different deck archetypes. This is in its very beginning stages. I hope that this can be a great resource for our community to use to discuss specific legacy archetypes. We could expand to other formats as well over time. If you play one of the decks that are listed up on the screen right now, or you want to play, just head in there, react to something, post your deck list, ask a question, whatever. It doesn't work if people don't participate, obviously, so have fun with it. Chili with a statement. Expand to the best format pre-modern. Hey, pre-modern people, feel free. I am allowing any and all people to post anything really that they want in the forum channel. So go nuts. If pre-modern's your thing, post about pre-modern. Taller Eric says, in the spirit of Discord, I intend to weigh in authoritatively on every deck if I play it or not. So that Taller Eric is here to help, it seems. Maybe. Chili says there are dozens of us, literally dozens. Yeah, pre-modern, yeah, who knows. Almost out of time on the poll, and the poll has been decided. Esper Vile versus Doomsday up next. OK Mode contributed 1,200 channel points. Thank you, OK Mode. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's set this up. This should be interesting. We have two really good players facing off here. This should be fun. We're moving on to the top 8. Hank joins us on the left with Doomsday. And on the right, we have Matthew on Esper Vile. Yorion has been revealed. A mulligan to 6 for Matthew. Ready to go. Polluted Delta, pass the turn.
We'll see. I mean, this is pretty finished. I think this card was like pretty good.
First round of top 8. These are the playoff rounds now. This was a 1K prize pool tournament. The finalists of this event will get their picks at 3 dual lands, 2 to the winner, 1 to the runner-up. We haven't seen Hank on stream in a while. Hank has been on our stream many times, obviously. Hank has always put up great results in competitive Legacy events and other formats as well. Matthew and this Esper Vile deck I'm excited about. This Esper Vile deck has Felia, Exuberant Shepherd, and Overlord of the Baelmerk. Doomsday put in the trash by Undercity Sewer. That's interesting. And a bunch of other cards like Gilded Drake and whatnot. This Esper Vile deck is awesome. If I had Gilded Drakes, I'd be playing it. A great choice for a competitive Legacy right now, in my opinion, this Esper Vile deck. Mandraw, thank you for the resub with Prime 14 months. Appreciate that. Doomsday on the stack. Looks like it's resolving because Matthew has updated the score. And Hank will build a pile. If you look closely, you'll see Psychic Frog is in Hank's deck. This is there's all, you know, like in the like in all formats in Legacy there are these archetypes like Doomsday and Death and Taxes and Painter and whatnot. And then it kind of branches off. You get different versions of those decks. This is more of a tempo Doomsday, where some games will be won by attacking with creatures like Tameo and, well, obviously Tameo doesn't do damage, but Psychic Frog, Barrowgoyf we may see. Level 1 is happy to see some Doomsday. And for anyone new around here, what usually ends up in the Doomsday pile? I think it's obvious that we'll see Thassa's Oracle as the win con, given that we only have a 5-card library. But we may see some cyclers, like Street Wraith, like Edge of Autumn, cycle through this deck quickly. This now very small library. We may see lands like Cavern of Souls to make Thassa's Oracle hard to deal with. Let's just leave it there for now. But I think you get the idea. Try not to overwhelm people with too much information, but That's the idea. Building a 5-card pile. We're going to cycle through it, get a Thassa's Oracle that can't be dealt with, and win the game. Hank does still have cards in hand, which can help. We saw Lotus Petal. Helps Doomsday get cast quicker. These decks also tend to run stuff like Dark Ritual. Consider is a card we could see. Enrique is absolutely right. And what could Matthew do about it? I mean, other than the obvious Force of Will on your Thassa's Oracle, although we probably, if Matthew had has a Force of Will right now, we probably would see it used on Doomsday. Occasionally, it'll come up that a Swords to Plowshares on Thassa's Oracle with Devotion being higher than the cards left in the deck. On Resolution. Or Devotion being lower, sorry, than cards left in the deck on Resolution could disrupt. Trying to think what Matthew might have in the main. Drawing a blank right now. Bowmaster. Potentially could disrupt. Spirit of the Labyrinth could potentially disrupt. Slow down the pile enough that Hank can't cycle through without losing the game. Hank's at 9 life. Matt hasn't conceded yet. These are untimed rounds here in the playoffs, so no reason to concede, really. Make Hank play it out. Make Hank build the pile. Hank thinking a little bit long on this pile here. We're approaching too much time, maybe. Time limits on Doomsday resolving is a topic that's come up many times on stream. How much time are you supposed to allow your opponent? You know, it's like I feel like judges of events like this just need to be a little bit more police these a little bit more and kind of you know, at minimum, tell him he needs to hurry up. This is taking a little bit long. For my liking, personally. I don't mean to trash Hank at all. It's just like, this is a very real, logistical thing that is important to mind in Legacy tournaments with cards like Doomsday. Hank's taking his time. Nobody's pressuring Hank here. You know, it's up to the judge of this event to tell Hank he's taking too long, really, or Matthew to call a judge. Matthew's being patient. Doesn't seem to care so far. Yeah, Hank going back into the deck again. And I think we're seeing right now why cards like Doomsday will not be added to Pioneer. This card is pretty annoying. Was Doomsday a design mistake by Wizards? What about the play patterns? This is just taking way too long, straight up. This is taking way too long. Matthew, if I'm in Matthew's seat right now, I would have called a judge like a full 2 minutes ago. At least. And if you built your pile wrong, you built your pile wrong. Sorry, you're out of time. It's just too bad. I know it's hard to build the piles, but that's on you. You chose to play Doomsday. That's how I feel. King of Suede says, what costs people more time in tournaments, using top to look at the top 3 cards or resolving Doomsday? Yeah, unfortunately, those kinds of mechanics where like one person is experiencing the gameplay and the other person is not for long periods of time are just not good gameplay. I know there's people that like show up in the chat often, show up in the Discord often, hoping for a Sensei Stop unban. I'm strongly against it. And, you know, if come around next ban announcement, they're like, you know what, Doomsday is not really a card we want in Legacy anymore. It's banned. I would not be against it. I would be like, sure. Yeah, let's get that annoying card out of here. Yeah, Static Ripped, absolutely right. Shuffling is the word defender of time loss. Pre-pandemic, I was playing a lot of Paper Pioneer, and one of the best things about that format that made it enjoyable was that there's just no shuffling. You shuffle, you start the game, and then you don't shuffle again until you sideboard. At least usually. All right, Doomsday has resolved. It took an hour and a half, but we have a pile assembled here. Hank's still thinking about the order of it. I mean, this is just taking way too long.
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah. I have your pack. Okay.
Hey, step on the fetch, surveil.
No, just into
And step fetch surveil for Matthew. The thing is also, prior to Doomsday resolving, it didn't really make sense for Matt to scoop anyway. Let's say Matt intends to concede this game. It doesn't look like that's the case, but you do want a chance to look through the deck after Doomsday resolves. See what's in there.
oh, this is the fun. This is going to be Are you guys drafting the rest
Surveil happening. But all right, Swamp gets dumped into the graveyard. If I have advice to the competitive Legacy players out there going to not even just Eternal Weekend, go into the local 1K or whatever, Charming Prince. All right.
Creature I own. I'm trying to check something. I'm gonna scry.
All right, Charming Prince will resolve. We're gonna scry. But for spells like Doomsday, just call a judge. Just make the judge deal with it. Cycling Street Wraith. Hank goes down to 7. Now a Brainstorm. Draws all the cards in the deck. It looks like the coast is clear for Hank here. Not sure what Matthew could have. Unless there's something obvious I'm forgetting. There's Cavanon Wizard. That's his Oracle.
Yep, ATB. I'm going to try to Solitude, Pitching Solitude.
Solitude, pitching Solitude, okay. Force, pitching Ponder. And Hank takes game 1. All right, Hank takes game 1.
Oh, actually, yeah. And he looks cool.
So I guess the lesson from that game 1 is hold your opponent to a reasonable amount of time to resolve Doomsday. That was just way too long. Flooded Strand, pass. I think Matthew was a little bit too lenient there. Tamio comes in for Hank. Meticulous Archive, Surveil. Yeah, lesson is not voting for Doomsday. Talking about our Twitch polls. If you're new around here, Twitch chat votes round by round which matches we will watch, and this was the winner of the poll. Meticulous Archive, surveilling.
Also, hope you know
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sometimes people.
I'm never afraid to hate dragons.
I think I tend to be a little bit more impatient than the average player when it comes to stuff like Doomsday. Caracas dumped into the graveyard with Cervelle. Caracas would have been pretty good against Tamiyo. That's why Matthew thought about it for a moment. All right, here's Lavinia. Now a Ponder for Hank. Ponder shuffle.
Yeah, I was like, some water.
We do have Matthew's list and Hank's list. They are posted in our Discord server along with the rest of the top 8 lists. LT in the chat pointing out not just hold your opponent, but if you're taking too long, you need to be aware. It's pretty unfair to take a 5-6 minute Doomsday and bank on not getting called out. Yeah, I mean, I can understand. Like, I can imagine being in a situation where, like, I got to build this Doomsday pile, and I just, like, thinking about it, and I lose track of time. I'm stressed. I'm on camera. There's a lot of prizes or whatever, you know, like. I can imagine it being a little bit difficult to mine the time, let's say, but absolutely. I mean, if your opponent calls a judge that you're taking too long to make a play, you can't get mad about it, no matter what the situation. It's like that's on the judge to figure out, and your opponent is very within their right, let's say, to hold you to the rules. There are rules at these tournaments. You know, you sign up, you pay your entry fee. There's rules. There's a clue now created by Tamiyo. Polluted Delta gets cracked. All right, basic swamp comes in.
Mine is to pick up the Killdozy deck.
Underground Sea.
Yeah, no. Please, the first thing I do when I'm leaving here is text him. Like, you gotta check this out.
Now a Ponder. Is Tamiyo gonna flip here? Kind of lost track. Yep, Tamiyo flips into the Inquisitive Scholar. There it is. Level 1 says, wish we had a paper legacy scene here. Where in the world is everybody watching right now? And do you have a legacy scene? Lavinia has attacked, dealt 1 damage to Tamiyo. Yurion is still in the companion zone, not in play, obviously. Misty Rainforest gets cracked. Underground Sea. Virginia, not really. Here's Barrowglyph. This is what we were talking about as we got started. The Doomsday deck could potentially just win this game by attacking with creatures like Barrowglyph.
Actually, no. I don't think this is red line.
Okay, camera keeps getting bumped here. Sorry about that. Scrublands found.
Yeah, because basically that's kind of it. It's just kind of
18, yeah. Flash from Hull Breacher.
Hull Breacher. Okay, okay. Hull Breacher's in.
2-3.
Move to my turn. Draw.
Hull Breacher. Not a card we've seen much recently. It's pretty good against the cyclers and brainstorms and all that stuff. That was Witch Enchanter getting played as a land. Recruiter of the Guard.
Well, I mean, they worked a lot.
I cast Solitude after getting it and shuffling.
I think it's heads off. You know, people complain that we haven't seen a vanilla creature.
Witch Blessed Meadow came in tapped. Recruiter of the Guard found Solitude. Urion still not in the in play. Hasn't been bought yet. Solitude pitching. Felia, Exuberant Shepherd. Baragoyf is gone. Yeah, the Tamiyo Ultimate is a threat as well. But Tamiyo's getting attacked for 3 here. Tamiyo under threat.
So at some point, this pile here.
Tamiyo pluses up to 4 loyalty.
We just talked about how it's the inferior choice, but that experience in once.
Yeah, the whole Breacher would need to be dealt with in order for the Tamiyo Ultimate. But it is a way that the deck can... ooh, Dark Ritual, Baragoyf. All right, so another Baragoyf on the board. The Clue token on the board, not very good right now.
Belfast Strix.
So it is what it is.
Belful Strix is in. That could be a way to deal with the Baragoyf. At least if it decides to attack. Tamiyo minus can't really return anything interesting from the graveyard right now. Matthew has set up pretty good defenses here with Lavinia, Hull Breacher, and Belful Strix.
I remember what the last card was, but I was hopeful. That was
4/5 rating? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4/5.
The Baragoyf is 4 power right now. Fatal Push on Belful Strix. Belful Strix is gone.
Artifacts?
Yeah, Belful Strix adds Artifact to the graveyard, so Baragoyf has 5 power now. Should Retro Frame Belful Strix have been brown?
No, I can't. That's the whole problem.
I don't know. Might be another mistake by Wizards. They're always making mistakes. Screwing it all up. And we're tired of it. Trass says no because multicolor overrides colorless. All right. I don't like it.
I don't know what I don't know. The house.
I saw.
Yeah. No, I know we have. I feel good about what I have, but I don't know what I don't know.
All right. Hank digs up a basic swamp. Hank could be aware that Harbinger of the Seas is a possibility.
Can never beat the path. This is a bit.
Fatal push on the Hull Breacher. Getting that Hull Breacher out of the way could be pretty big for Hank here. Hull Breacher dies. Okay, safe to cast Ponder now without Hull Breacher on the table. No mana available for Bowmaster. Looks like Matthew's still thinking about responding to Ponder, though. Okay, Ponder resolves.
Yeah, I gotta like.
Tamio at 1 loyalty currently.
I didn't fit it around the city, but then I didn't know also you could practically
Yeah, I figured that. I figured you had to touch that. I figured that. We're a couple down. Bill, yeah, I gotta get this. Thank you. Did those brainstorms? Did they work? I'm saying. Thank you.
Ponder resolving here. Again, taking a little long.
I'm just going with the main card on Friday.
These decisions can be hard, but you have to play at a reasonable pace.
So I literally messaged them last one on the
Ponder draw. Felia getting flashed in. The Exuberant Shepherd. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry about the app. Don't worry about the app.
Cave gets eliminated by a fatal push. Pass the turn. Felia down. Okay, Brainstorm resolves for Matthew.
Like a heavy going really good. Because like every cast was solved, against. You can't see what's against 6
Can they start?
If they're ready to go, they go.
Okay, Swords to Plowshares on Barrowglyph. Making some progress here. This could allow an attack to finish off Tamio with Lavinia. Looks like Hank has 1 card in hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I guess I have like this is Tamio. This is you.
Oh, Tamio wasn't plus. Okay, so Recruiter attacks Tamio. That makes sense. So Tamio gets knocked out by Recruiter. Lavinia deals 2 damage to Hank. I forgot that Tamio plus ability wasn't activated. Here's Overlord of the Belmerk. New card from Duskmorn. Maybe getting underestimated. Great new addition to Legacy. I really like this card. So it's ETB. It's going to mill 4 cards. Then you return a non-avatar creature or planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. Curious what... okay, that was me fixing the camera. Curious what will be returned here. There's a Hull Breacher still in the yard. Felia still in the yard.
Bring back Hull Breacher. Sure.
Okay, Hull Breacher comes back. That makes sense.
Goes down to 4.
Oh, you can.
So at the end step, it goes down to 4 counters on it for impending the Overlord. It's not yet a creature.
The card you return was
The trick with this deck, though, and what it does is with like Felia or Flicker-Wisp, it'll flicker the Overlord, and then it's a creature. It's a 5/5 creature with its ability, and whenever it attacks, you use its ability again, and it just is really powerful.
It puts me low, but no.
There's a Brainstorm for Hank firing it off before Hull Breacher can get on the table. It's looking pretty good here for Matthew here in game 2. Lavinia kind of as a one-way Vexing Bauble. And Hank can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater than the number of lands he controls. I don't know if that's super relevant at this point. But earlier in the game, it would prevent, like, Dark Ritual Doomsday. Yeah, Felia plus Overlord is pretty gross. 6/7 Barrowglaive comes in, though. It's not too bad. Barrowglaive is such a good creature. Definitely one of my favorite cards that came out this year, the Barrowglaive. Modern Horizons 3 Commander. All right, Yorion goes to hand.
You end step trigger.
End step, remove a counter. The Overlord now has 3 counters on it. Barrowglaive attacks. Maybe better for Matthew to have left black mana open. I guess there's a Flood Strand. Doesn't really matter. Yeah. Never mind. Change my mind. All right, Flood Strand cracking here. Oh, maybe we're going to see a Bowmaster. We'll see.
I was like, oh, this is a mistake. I was like,
Twitch chat appreciating the foils. Undercity Sewer Surveil. Okay, no Bowmaster. Just going to Surveil. This is all before blocks. Barrowglaive, it looks like, has 6 power currently.
Keep it on top.
Keep it on top. Thinking about blocking.
Block Lavinia.
Block with Lavinia. Lavinia dies. And Barrowglaive number 2. Oh boy.
My card's hand. Urion. Like the Overlords and the Recruiter.
You guys have lifelink. Did you mark lifelink?
Oh, yeah. 6.
Okay, that was me pointing out that they forgot lifelink. The Urion blinks Recruiter, blinks Overlord. Recruiter could potentially find a Solitude. Overlord could retrieve something out of the graveyard. So we're going to tutor with Recruiter first before Overlord's trigger resolves. Overlord is a 5/5 creature now. No more impending counters on it. It's been blinked. Solitude is found. Now the Overlord ability. Another Overlord, a Skyclave Apparition, and a Recruiter of the Guard. Returning to Ferry.
Still on my end step. Solitude pitching to Ferry.
Solitude pitching to Ferry, hitting a Barrowglaive. Barrowglaive down. I think we're starting to see the engine of this Esper Vile deck slowly starting up here. The Overlord, once it can start attacking, can return a creature every turn. And that could be really hard for Hank to beat.
Does this come back with counter from the No. It's just a 5/5 now. Oh, it has the attack trigger.
Don with a great question. Is Hank the one who lost a Boshin roll in the vintage tourney for Black Lotus? Yes, that was Hank. That was Hank. Twitch chat has a good memory. There was a vintage tournament earlier this year. I don't even remember what it was. Okay, so Baraglyph gets chump blocked by a recruiter. Hank will gain some life. And now we'll start to see Matthew use this Overlord, I think, and it could get really difficult for Hank to get ahead in this game. All right, Swords of Plowshares on Baraglyph. That's been dealt with. And then a big attack likely incoming. Attacking for 9, Overlord trigger. No creatures there, but can return a creature from the yard as long as it's not an avatar. Recruiter of the Guard. Archivist with a great question. Does Esper Vial have a winning combo, or is it more value? It usually does not have a combo. I'm sure there's somebody out there that puts some kind of a combo in it, but it's usually just a very fair deck. Recruiter of the Guard resolving. Boggart Trawler. It's a goblin. It's the Bajuka Bog Goblin, but it gets played as a land. Hank has to beat a lot right now. The Overlord is being left unchecked for too long. It'll just lead to way too much for... All right, Opposition Agent. That is excellent. The rest of the cards milled... Oh, what was that? Overlord, a gold card. I'm not sure what that was. What was that gold card? Huh. All right, Opposition Agent. Obviously very good against Doomsday.
Move to combat? Withdraw, trigger, and that's 9, 10.
Big attack here. Overlord triggering. Belful Strix, Force of Will, Felia, Marsh Flats. Toll Eric saying it would not surprise me if Doomsday is out of the deck. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a chance it's no longer in the deck. Don Mars skeptical about Baraglyphs in this matchup. Yeah, the Baraglyphs have not been super good in this matchup. Matthew has a lot of ways to deal with creatures, but maybe not as many ways to deal with Doomsday. What do you feel about that, chat? Should Hank be off the Doomsday plan, or should we be all in on Doomsday? Thought sees from Hank. Hull Breacher in response. Vial, Felia, Solitude, Consigned to Memory. A really good hand. Hank knows it and scoops the game. We're going to game 3. Okay. Good lucks were shared. Moving on to game 3. Hank will be on the play. Play draw stuff can matter quite a bit in matchups like this. We were talking a little bit during game 2 about whether or not Hank should be running Doomsday in the deck right now. Top 8 is untimed, that's true. No timer.
No, I wouldn't. I don't need to instigate. But I have the thought, and it made me laugh, even though I know it's mean. Well, I'll see you guys later.
Okay, turn 1 Thoughtseize. It is Caracas, Opposition Agent, Solitude, Double Wasteland, Undercity Sewers, and Force of Will. A little bit of an awkward hand. Nothing to pitch for Force, nothing to pitch for Solitude. Opposition Agent is excellent against Doomsday, but a little slow. Caracas can bounce stuff like Tameo. Wasteland can be quite annoying. Can't take it with Thoughtseize, obviously.
Sure. Not really. Don't sign me up for that. That spot around here.
This harvester is now using it in business.
This is an awkward hand. There's no doubt about it. Maybe a little bit hesitant to throw back an Opposition Agent. This game could also start with just a Wasteland 2 turns in a row from Matthew, potentially. Yeah, the 2 Wastelands are good. Wasteland's quite disruptive against Doomsday, potentially. What does Hank want to take here? It might just be Opposition Agent. It's the most dangerous card, I think. Assuming the Doomsdays are back in the deck if they were taken out. An Opposition Agent could be a real pain in the butt.
Yeah. Well, it'll get me too.
Guess it depends what Hank's plan is here. If Hank's going to fire off Doomsday next turn, then maybe Force of Will is the choice. Tall Eric in the chat saying it likely will be Force. I'm just trying to think, like... Yeah, 3 turns away from Opposition Agent gives Hank some time to kind of, like, not worry about Opposition Agent if Doomsday is the plan. All right, Force of Will is selected. So that's finalized. Yeah, at least 3 turns away if Matthew spends time wasting. I think we'll see Wasteland here. Yep. It makes sense. Doomsday is the kind of deck that can miss land drops. Okay, Undercity Sewer, Surveil. That's probably also going to get wasted. Dark Ritual into the trash. Yep, gets wasted. I like that play. And no land drop for Hank. So the Wastelands ended up being really good. Undercity Sewer, Surveil from Matthew. Leaves it on top. Okay. That's Caracas. Pass the turn. Hank needs a land. Cycling Street Wraith. Trying to find a way to get things up and running. Cavern of Souls.
Tamel's a wizard, right?
Trigger.
Okay, Cavern of Souls name's Wizard. Brainstorm on end step for Matthew. Yeah, this is a little bit desperate, this Cavern. Just trying to get lands on the board.
Sire of 7 deaths.
Wow, a lot of laughing in the background for a top 8 match to be played in the same room. Is there something funny about a top 8 legacy match? Polluted Delta gets cracked.
Maybe has a team. Okay. Well, see, now he's got to worry about if it's in my hand, and I like the power play.
Yeah, if Thassa's Oracle is in hand, opposition agent can be beaten. Roberts, thank you for the resub, 29 months. Appreciate that.
I mean, you know, I can see the whole like no.
Yeah, I don't know, folks. I can't imagine like having a top 8 legacy match being played in the same room as me, and I'm laughing. It's just like, I don't understand that. Opposition agent comes in.
That's how he started.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay, Lotus Petal. It's mana. But now there's opposition agent, and that could shut off fetches going forward. A little bit of a squeeze on Hank's mana even further. Lotus Petal getting sacked. Can't feel good to only have a Cavern and a Lotus Petal right now.
Yes. And multiple people who want me to do that. I had 18 monkey lives and then with overrun, I was playing with 90 power monkey.
Definitely, as this game goes longer, the longer this game goes, the more advantage I think Matthew gets rather than Hank. At least in my opinion. The more creatures Esperval can get on the table, the more, you know, disruption can be found. It'll get harder and harder for Hank to win. Okay, it sounds like Twitch chat has spotted a Doomsday and Dark Ritual in Hank's hand. But that opposition agent makes things difficult. Sack the Petal to Ponder. That can't feel good. This isn't over, though. This isn't over. If Hank removes this opposition agent, Dark Ritual Doomsday, do the thing, win the game, it's not over. Not time to turn the TV off yet, I don't think.
To be fair, I think you would have been happy.
I'm very much a believer that Magic tournaments should feel like being at the library. Shh.
How early did that?
There's nothing funny about a Magic tournament.
Maybe like a third to halfway through. It was
Taking a little long on this Ponder, keeping it real. It's just taking too long.
You had no shot. So like things like that, huge. When they're fine, how you track that is very important.
Matthew, very patient. More patient than me, that's for sure. I'd be like, Hank, we're friends, but you gotta hurry up.
More information is a thing.
I'll still go grab a beer with you after FNM, but you gotta hurry up. Okay, Lotus Petal, Fatal Push on opposition agent. Found something. Forcing it, pitching to Fairy, Fatal Push is countered, and just passing the turn. All right, so opposition agent survives.
Oh no!
I didn't even see it.
I would have picked that immediately.
Combat? Third?
Ew, somebody's coughing now. All right, opposition agent attacks. Hank drops to 12. So some time left on the clock as far as life total, but a follow-up disruptive creature of some kind could be problematic.
No, this is good. Now it's
Yeah.
Lavinia. Okay. Skyclave Apparition. Exile nothing. Okay. It's a clock.
Yeah.
So 3 mana, 2/2. What's the best 3 mana 2/2 of all time?
Whoa.
Okay, Yurion added to hand, pass the turn. We knew that what did Matthew have? Solitude and yeah, I think Solitude is the only card we know. Hank scoops it up. That is the match. Super well played. Esper Vial is the real deal. Simian Spirit Guides, Chittering Rats, Bombardiers. Yeah, Bombardiers is a really good one. Goblin Rabble Master is great. Broadside Bombardiers might be one of the best ever. Simian Spirit Guide is up there, though. And Elvish Spirit Guide, obviously. Both Spirit Guides, it's a tie. But because someone else in the chat said Simian. Good games. Good games. All right. We're going to skip a poll here. And we're going to move on to covering the finals of this tournament. And jump forward past the top 4. Jump into the finals. The finalists were Matthew on Esper Vial, who we just saw, and Painter Rockford, we saw earlier. Congrats to them both making the finals. Let's dive in.
Yes, of course. You want my plan? Sure. Pretty good. Yeah,
Getting ready to go. This is the finals of the Gamestoria 1K. The winner gets to pick 2 from Badlands, Taiga, Plateau. The loser gets the 3rd. Yurion revealed. 1 card on the bottom for Rockford, ready to go. Bargert Trawler gets played as a land, paying 3 life. Aether Vial. VS Asher, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate it. Vexing Bauble. Start the game for Rockford. So both players starting the game with 1 mana artifacts.
Force Bauble. Pitching to Fairy. Sure.
Force of Will pitching to Fairy, countering Vexing Bauble. All right. That will enable Solitude and Force of Will, of course. Vial takes up to 1. Solitude could be important in this matchup, disrupting the Painter Grindstone combo, removing Goblin Welders, Goblin Engineers, stuff like that. Meticulous Archive, Surveil. Looks like the card is left on top, and we're going to pass the turn.
If there's any
Grindstone, okay.
2.
Vial up to 2. Level 1 says, love that Bauble was printed. Gives non-blue decks an annoying card to work around. Yeah. Vexing Bauble has made a significant impact on Legacy for sure. We were talking a little bit earlier about what counts as a Legacy staple. Vexing Bauble, absolutely.
What the hell is that?
Cartoon? Yeah. I think I have 3. Yeah. Well, actually, wait. I'm gonna cast Recruiter of the Guard. I just realized, like, if I'm casting this and you're not gonna counter it, then might as well stroke it.
Okay. Recruiter of the Guard will search the library now. Vial is on 2. It'll be Charming Prince getting vialed in.
Scry 2, exile a creature that you own, not control, and it comes back at the next end step, and gain 3 life.
And?
Oh,
It's
or,
all
like,
three?
No, it's one of the three.
Okay, sure.
Like those are the three. Like
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
I'm gonna choose to
Blink.
this. They'll come back on that step.
Yep. So what I'm not shuffle.
Okay, Recruiter of the Guard will come back on end step. Yeah, the shuffling is pointless for now. Recruiter of the Guard trigger resolving. Matthew searching again. And finding.
I know what I'm getting. I just need to. Yeah, I mean exactly.
Skyclave Apparition. Okay. That could be pretty good. Can bring it in at instant speed with either Vial on the following turn. We are in a precarious position as far as the Painter Grindstone combo for now. I mean, a play like Petal, Painter, whatever. You get the point. Activate Grindstone. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. There's a chance Fable of the Mirror Breaker will be the target for Skyclave. Making a Goblin Shaman. Very nice token. Legit.
Thank you.
File has ticked up to 3. Urion still a companion. Brainstorm.
Put these two back. Activate Vial.
Okay.
Skyclave.
Targeting.
Fable.
Yep.
Skyclave Apparition removes Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
2.
Offering a trade with the Charming Prince. Rockford does not accept. It's a 2-2. Pass the turn to Rockford. Saga ticks up.
Yep.
Present hand.
3.
Combat.
Yep. Swing. Trigger. I'll take 2. And y'all got 2 trash.
Okay, so taking with the Goblin Shaman. Skyclave will not block. And a treasure is made. There's Painter Servant. It's going to resolve. Naming blue. Felia is getting power blasted.
Solitude, pitching Witch Enchanter.
Solitude pitching Witch Enchanter. Sack the treasure, power blast that too. Oh boy. So Painter protected. Rockford threatening combo on the following turn. Looks like Matthew's Hellbent ticks Vial up to 4. That card in hand needs to be interaction or Rockford wins this game. It seems. 2 cards in hand for Rockford. There's a chance Rockford plays it slow, but I think you just have to go for it here if you're Painter. There's nothing on board that can disrupt. One mana floating, Urza Saga gets sacked. The card in hand is like Witch Enchanter and it gets vialed in. That could be a problem. Could find Needle here and name Vial if Needle's in the deck. Okay, Vexing Bauble. Palace Jeller does see some play in these kinds of decks. I don't know off the top of my head if it's in Matthews. Lists are posted in our Discord server for anyone curious. We get a lot of questions about deck lists join our Discord server. Go check out the Decklist channel. That's where they are.
Which enchanter is 4?
Also, say hello.
Gonna go for it.
You got it.
Okay.
All right. You got it. Rockford takes game 1 of the finals. Rockford up a game. Just went for it. I think it was correct to go for it there.
先去看谁先出牌吧。
你应该在你的 esper 里面放。
So Matthew will be on the play here for game 2. Needs ways to interact with the Painter Grindstone combo. Post board, maybe some more options. Stony Silence, stuff like that. Lorien Revealed gets Island cycled.
I think it's this one.
哎，它这个有没有这个呀？它这个80还是
Okay, Meticulous Archive is the land selected when Island Cycling Lorien Revealed. Does enter tapped, but the surveillability. If you've been playing Legacy a lot recently, surveilling is good. It's powerful.
我们这周都在讨论看这套牌是怎么最好的就是
确实
我们练了很多。
我觉得这它已经很优化了，已经不是。
All right, passing the turn to Matthew. Plays the Meticulous Archive, surveils. Basic swamp into the graveyard. Keep in mind, too, that these Painter decks do run moon effects. Could be a problem here. Ancient Tomb. Uh-oh. Okay, Fable in the Mirror Breaker. I thought it was going to be a moon. All right, Fable in the Mirror Breaker is in. Hype Train Conductor Char Twin, thank you for the bits. Appreciate that.
Does it?
Shout out to Magic Ads 73 and Char Twin, our monthly gift sub and cheerleaders. Passed back to Matthew.
Yeah, this is fire, right? I never got there again. Yeah.
Is it fair?
I just never got there.
It's a very time raveler. Okay. Okay. Could bounce the Goblin Shaman. That will be the move. Ferry down to 1 loyalty.
我一个都不是。
那你怎么做到像所以说啊？那你上12了吗？
我上12了。我基本上整个 cyborg 都这样。就是我所有的，就是我的 Wager 我的。
你也是你懂的。
Keith Mazda Flex says 36 months and I still don't know what a hype train is. It's all this Twitch stuff. So a hype train is just when a bunch of people are subbing or cheering at once. You kind of just have this hype train conductor badge that goes to the biggest donator during that time. Cheer. As we see our monthly cheerleader Char Twin in the top left. Cheer is just, cheering bits is just like tipping your streamer. Bits and cheer are a currency here on Twitch. So you can convert whatever currency you have into bits and then tip a streamer. So if you're enjoying this, you can tip me. That's the whole idea, folks.
Go ahead.
Wow. Liquid metal coating is found by Karn. That could be a problem. Karn, the great creator, on the board.
Can I read the backside of Fable real quick?
Level 1 Skelly. Just gifted 5 subs. Appreciate that. Thank you, Level 1 Skelly. First 5 gifted subs for Level 1. Thank you, thank you. And we have hit a hype train now. Level 1 Skelly with a message. I have enjoyed. Appreciate the coverage, squad. Thank you, Level 1. Karn at 3 loyalty, Fable at 2 chapter counters. Looks like Matthew has stepped away for a judge question. Trying to remember what the judge question was. I was there hearing the question. Don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Karn plus liquid metal coating could start putting some damage, inflicting some damage next turn. Basically, turn a land into an artifact and plus Karn to make it a 0/0 and it dies. Land destruction. Blue to Delta gets correct. Ground C. So some redundancy as far as duels right now. A white-blue, a blue-black, a white-black. That could help against the Karn liquid metal coating situation. Very macabre, okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
That is interesting.
Sure, the results.
It could be a way to attack Karn, which is kind of the point here. Karn needs to be dealt with before it can just blow up all of Matthew's lands and give Rockford this game and this match. Fable of the Mirror Breaker will flip into Reflections of Kiki Jiki. Summoning sick for now. Did Rockford draw for turn? I guess so. Just remember. All right, Ancient Tomb. Liquid Metal Coating. I see a Power Blast in hand. Consign to memory. Red Blast. Consign is countered. Looks like Liquid Metal Coating is in. Nice foil. That looks cool.
That's good. I'm assuming you're...
Yeah.
Okay, Meticulous Archive. Blown up by Karn and Liquid Metal Coating. Make it an artifact, then make it a 0/0. Dies. Fire Macabre going to try to attack Karn now. Most likely. It'll take a couple of hits, but Sphera Macabre's job right now is to get Karn off the table. You're wondering why Fairy got cast from hand instead of keeping it as a disruption ability. This is why. All right, Karn goes down to 2 loyalty now.
Gilded Drake?
Gilded Drake. That's getting power blasted.
Sure.
The other vial is in.
That's two.
Matthew has 4 lands in play right now. It'll take Karn a while to eliminate them all.
Float away.
Gonna get rid of Scrubland. Cut Matthew off a white for now. I think Karn's loyalty was incorrect. Yeah, it's been corrected. 3.
Yeah, I definitely was expecting the bomb.
Hype train complete. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the bits.
Take 2. 14.
曾经玩的什么新沃尔德尔上，就是运气。
You got it.
Okay, another Fable of the Mirror Breaker. That's in. Can't block the Fairy. The Fairy is going to continue trying to chip away at Karn. Rockford would love to beat this Fairy. Karn plus Liquid Metal Coating has already done a lot of damage. This kind of combo is being disrupted by Fairy. Karn down to 1 loyalty. The ability to make artifacts into creatures with power toughness equal to their mana value is a +1, so Karn will die next turn if Fairy can't be dealt with. 12 Post says by the time Karn is dead, he could have already killed the player with the 2 tombs in play. Not sure what you're referring to.
There's this. Right?
Okay, Solitude removes reflections of Kiki Jiki. If you're thinking about lattice, there's no lattice in this in Rockford's sideboard, I don't believe. We're not trying to Karn lattice people. All right, gets to untap. Fabled of the Mirror Breaker will tick up to 2. Can discard a Simian Spirit Guide. Cut Matthew off of black. Karn is at 2 loyalty. The Fairy could potentially kill Karn next turn. Fairy attacks, makes a treasure.
Yeah, how many again? 2.
Goblin Engineer.
Goblin Engineer will resolve. That's not a way to stop the Fairy. What are we putting in the graveyard? Alright, just Phyrexian Dragon Engine. The usual.
Oh, the 1 floating.
Pithing Needle's good.
Pithing Needle on Vial is pretty good. Karn may die in combat on this following turn, but he's done a lot of damage. Fairy kills Karn the Great Creator finally. Okay, Matthew has a Tundra. Ooh. What card was that? Does anybody know?
Yeah, sure.
Pass 2.
Is that Lavinia? I think that's just Lavinia Azorius Renegade. I hope I'm right.
Fine.
I believe it is. It's a secret lair version of Lavinia Azorius Renegade. Okay, so Lavinia will trade. Somebody coughed. Tapping a lot of mana here. Fury. Alright, Fury a little late. Kills the Fairy. Finally, the Fairy has been defeated. That's the turn. Reflections of Kiki Jiki plus Fury, very scary. Goblin Engineer is available. Liquid Metal Coating no longer really has any use. Pithing Needle is on Vial. Vial has 3 charge counters on it. Just passing the turn. There's a Phyrexian Dragon Engine and a Great Furnace, I guess, as artifacts in the yard. Fury attacks. Drops Matthew down to 9.
Go ahead.
You go.
That is the match. Rockford gets it. GG's. Painter.
Nice job, both of you. Congrats, congrats.
I
Rockford.
did.
Painter. Is these?
So Rockford gets first.
Painter and Esper Vile, two very real. Oh, there's the prizes. Painter and Esper Vile, two very real decks. Real options for Eternal Weekend. Decks we may see at the top of the standings. Rockford selecting a Badlands. Rockford selecting a Taiga. And a Plateau to Matthew. And that is it. That is the match. That is the tournament. Well played.
Nice.
Wow. Incredible. Exciting. Okay. We did have a live stream last week. We did last week, technically. Yesterday, I meant to say. We did have a live stream yesterday, which had some really spicy matches on it. And I encourage you to go check that out if you didn't see yesterday's stream. Eternal Weekend is this weekend. You may see some 90s MTG t-shirts walking around. Go make a new friend. Go say hello. I am very much looking forward to seeing what decks do well this weekend. Which players do well this weekend. I will be cheering some of you on. That does it for me for this week. I'll see everybody soon. Stick around for a raid. Peace out.